Welcome to the Fit to Lead 10-Day Core Challenge. My name is Teresa Holdsworth, and I'm going to be leading you through day 2 of the Core Challenge. The Core Challenge is designed so that we work all aspects of the core. So today we're going to work the front of the core with a high plank. We're going to work the back of the core with a hip bridge, and then we're going to work the sides doing our side kick. All you need is your mat. So let's get started. We'll start with the high plank first. So if you'd like to get on your hands and knees, your hands are going to be underneath of your shoulders, and we're going to pull our toes back, coming up into a full plank. Just make sure that your head is slightly up, that you're not dropping it. Shoulder blades are out slightly, but a nice level back. You can always modify this if you need to by bringing your knees down with your toes up to take the pressure off your knees. And we're going to take a deep breath in and then exhale out. We got one more breath in. Exhale. Good. We're going to now transition into our second exercise, which is the hip bridge. So you're laying down on your back with your knees just underneath your hips. And we're going to take a breath in and then exhale, push the hips up and down. So we'll do a dynamic movement here. Each interval that we're doing is going to be 30 seconds with 10 seconds in between, pushing those hips up, making sure that the knees stay pointed forward, that they're not splaying out to the side, pushing through those heels, coming down with a 3-point of contact, which is your pelvis, your shoulder blades, and your head. Good. And release. Going into the next exercise, which is side kick. So you're going to bring your elbow underneath your shoulder, bend your knee so it's pointing at the bottom of the mat, top leg up. We're going to flex forward and draw back. So now we're working the sides of the body, making sure that we've got this nice modified plank going. You can bring this hand up if you want to give you a little bit more extension through the upper body. Think about flexing forward and using your glute and hip extensors to pull back. Breathe out and in. Good job keeping that leg parallel if you can, pulling on back. One more, and now we're going to switch to the other side. Side kick here. Again, line your elbow up so it's underneath the shoulder, bottom of the knee towards the mat, arm up, and we flex forward and pull back. So while I'm doing this side kick, I'm just making a conscious effort that my pelvis isn't rocking back and forth, where I'm not crunching from the ribs. So try to stay nice and extended through the upper body, front of the hip. Here's the back of the hip. We're working these lateral muscles on the side. And of course, we want to make sure we have a good breath going. Exhale, and then inhale as we pull back. One more, and release. Let's go back into our high plank again. Hands underneath the shoulders, hip width apart, and we come up into plank. Good. Let's take a breath in and exhale out. Good. So I want to make sure my head isn't looking straight up like this, nor is it dropping down. Also paying attention to our middle of our body, that we're not sinking down into a cobra or pushing our hips up too high. So just inline, natural curve in the spine. Take a nice breath in. Exhale again. You can always drop to your knees, lift up your feet if you need to have a bit of a break, and release. Good. This is the second time doing the hip bridge. Just flip over onto your back. Make sure you got those 3 points of contact. So I have a natural curve in my spine, and push those hips up and release down. Breathe out as you come up, inhale as you come down. So knees come forward, pointing straight ahead, same with the toes. Heels are underneath of my knees, and I'm pushing up using the glutes, the hamstrings, muscles on the posterior of my body. So this is where we're getting that nice equal 360 balance. One more, up. Good, let's go on to the side. And we've got our elbow underneath the shoulder, bottom of the knee pointing at the bottom of the mat. Line ourselves up, and we kick forward and draw back. Good. So we're adding a dynamic leg movement to this modified side plank. So as we do our core, it's never going to be anything just isolated. We're going to have multi-muscles, multi-joints working or stabilizing. So we get the best benefit out of our core. Breathe out and breathe in as we come back. Again, trying to focus on keeping this leg up here if you can. Last one, and down. Good. Last time on this side for round 2. Elbow underneath, knee at the bottom, and here we go. Flex forward and extend back. Good. Flex and back. Now pay attention to your breathing. You want to exhale the front and inhale as we extend back. Watching that pelvic alignment. So it doesn't have to be a big kick. It's nice and controlled. Keeping my ribs up so I'm not sinking down. Pushing up through the elbow. Good. We'll do one more. And release. Good. This is set and final set of day 2 of the core challenge, high plank. Okay, so we'll start on the knees. Okay, that's level 1. Breath in. Exhale. You can always modify up and progress up into a full plank. Again, nice neutral spine. You can spread your fingers out if you need a little bit of tenting for the wrist. Breath in through the nose, and then exhale out. Your breathing very important. Breath in, and then exhale. One more. Take a breath in, and then exhale out. Good. Lower the knees. Come back over onto your back. This is our last hip bridge. Line yourself up with a natural curve in your lower back and point your hips and knees forward, picking the hips up and drawing back. We don't do enough work for the back of the body, so it's really important that we get these reverse type plank movements into our workout so that we have equal balance on the front and the back. So this is working the posterior chain, toe is down, everything's lined up forward, and just push those hips up as high as you can without the knees splaying out to the side. One more. Good. And last one. Roll over onto your side. Elbows underneath of the shoulder. Bottom of the knee at the mat. And here we go. Side kick. Come forward and back. So this is a variation move from a Pilates move. And I really like it because it does help to work these lateral muscles on the front and back. The top of the hip also has to work, but we're also getting the front of the hip and the back of the hip. So remember your glutes, they are part of your core. And pull back, flex forward, and last one. Good, that comes down. We flip to the other side. This is the last exercise for today. Nice and lined up. And here we go. Flex forward and draw back. Breathe in, exhale, thinking about pulling up through the underside, not letting ourselves sink down, keeping that leg up if we can, feeling it up here in the top of the hip, front of the hip, and now the glute at the back. Good, come forward, draw back. Also takes a bit of balance, which is really important to add with your core. And your last one, and down. Good. Thank you for joining me for day 2 of the core challenge, and I hope to see you next time.